tend to find matting. Sometimes you come across a dog that looks fine on the outside, but when you pass a comb, it's not going through at all because it's matted on the inside. So I always tell people, purchase a comb. You could read up on how to groom your dog, or if you don't have the time or the skills, you can always call a dog groomer.
Thank you very much for speaking with us on Animalia.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
So that was Lyselle Harripaul. You can check out Pawfection on Facebook and Instagram to book a session for your pooch today. My commentary this week about adopting versus shopping. I'm really glad to have had this conversation with Lyselle, who's the owner of 3 pedigree dogs. She agrees with the notion of pedigree dogs as a status symbol and reminds us of the pit bull craze a few years ago, which has now morphed into a husky craze today. The sad part about the dog trade is that too many of the animals which are bred or imported and sold for thousands of dollars do not live their best lives. Many are not in the best of health. Many are not suited to a tropical climate. Many end up being abandoned because the owner is no longer able to manage the expense of caring for them. It was so painful to watch people abandon their pit bulls when the dangerous dogs legislation was introduced. It was easier for these criminals, and I can only call them that, who dumped these poor animals instead of following the regulations to keep them contained, muzzled, or spayed and neutered. Which brings me to my point on all of this, which is to call for a system of regulation, not just of dog breeders and importers, but animal owners in general. I truly believe that every animal should be registered with a local authority so that their owners may be held accountable for their care and protection. There is one point on which I must disagree with Lyselle though, and that is adoption. I believe that dogs or puppies that are adopted provide much more long-term value than one that is purchased, not just to the owner but to the stray population as a whole. Back on episode 1, we heard Elspeth talk about how prized pothounds are to foreign adopters, and it's a pity we don't have the same affection and regard for our own. Now, there's no Rescue Me segment again this week, so in the meantime, if you agree that animal control services provided in TNT must be improved, please visit change.org/justice for Toro to sign the petition. And that's episode 6 of Animalia. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about grooming. Remember that a new episode drops every Friday, so you can find the link on our socials, Animalia the Pod, on Facebook and Instagram. If you like what you hear and want to appear on the podcast, shoot me an email at animaliathepod@gmail.com or message me on the back end of the socials. Thanks again to Lyselle Harripaul, and thank you for listening. I'm Natasha, and until next time, take good care and don't forget, grooming is a great way to love off your pets. Bye-bye.